why should you buy an homage watch, or why shouldn't you buy an homage watch? That's for you to answer. But why do I dabble a bit in it? Because I fucking can. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. The Watch Dad here. It looks a little bit different from the intro because I made a video. I was making that last night and my microphone died midway through it, and it was kind of long. So I'm doing it again for you guys. Wristwatch check. It is the San Martin Black Bay, whatever you want to call it, GMT Pepsi homage to the Tudor. That's what this video is about today, for the most part. And yeah, here it is, guys. So I kind of want to make this as short as possible. Hopefully it's not too long. I don't want to get into too much specs and details, technical data about this San Martin GMT. I will say it is obviously an homage to the Tudor Black Bay GMT opaline dial. That's what they call it. It's not a one-for-one copy. It's not exactly like it. Colors are a little different. The hands are a different size. The indices are a different size. I think the case on this one is smaller. I think it's like a 39.5 millimeter, if I'm not mistaken. The thickness is it's less thick than the Tudor. I believe this is only a 13 point something millimeter thickness. Which is, I think in my case is better because I don't need whatever the water resistance is on that Tudor. This one's only 200 meters. Again, if you saw my water resistance video, who's going past 200 meters diving? Nobody. So this is plenty fine for anybody. So this is it. It's a San Martin. It's a step up in many ways above Pagani's little homage watches. This thing is made phenomenally. The bracelet, guys, compared to Pagani's, Pagani bracelets are trash, straight up. They feel like trash, and they when you touch them, and when it's on wrist, they just feel like shit. It's an oyster style bracelet, and I'll tell you what, guys, on the wrist, it feels superb. It's very, very comfortable. I have no issues with it whatsoever. I've had it on almost 24 hours now, and I love it. The dial, I don't even know what color it is. Depending on the light, like especially outside, it goes from like a silver to a champagne to a white. It's crazy, and it looks amazing. The loom on this, I'll put a little video as I'm speaking here about the loom. On the reviews, I saw that the loom supposedly was mediocre, at best. But yesterday I took it outside for an hour and a half for my kids' practice. I came inside. An hour and a half later, when I took this video right here, as you're seeing, it's lit up this much, and that's an hour and a half after I was out of the sunlight inside my house. So you can see here, the loom is phenomenal. And now I'm going to show you what the loom is. It was like 5 minutes after this first video, in the complete darkness, hour 45 minutes or whatever it is, after being out in the sunlight. Pitch black closet, look at the loom. And I can confirm that throughout the night, one of my kids my baby woke up at I think it was like 4 in the morning, crying. I could see the loom on it. It was bright. I can still see it. I can still see the time without having to squint. It was very legible. So the loom on this thing is great. And you guys, if you buy this watch, if you're thinking about it, you won't be disappointed. You have to see it in person to truly, I guess, to truly appreciate it. because pictures and the videos, they don't do it justice. I'm telling you, once you see this and you see how awesome and amazing it looks in person, you're gonna love it. So yeah, if anybody's in the market for this watch, I've 100% recommend it. So that being said, I'm gonna get onto the topic about homage watches in general and why I specifically chose this watch. And I did because I was looking when the Tudor Black Bay 58 GMT Pepsi with that opaline dial came out. I've never like fanned over a Tudor ever. Ever. That's the only Tudor where I was like, fuck, that is a very nice watch. And I want it, right? $5,000. It's a lot of money right now, especially, you know, like if you've been following me, you know, we just bought a house. We just got the backyard done. It's a new build, so the backyard was from scratch. And if you know about landscaping and doing stuff like that, it's a lot of money, a lot of money. So I don't have $5,000. So I was like, well, what's the alternatives? I came across a Manta SkyQuest, phenomenal looking watch as well. And I was like, wow, that one's $2,400, I think it is. I don't have it. So I came across this for $250, $300. I was like, you know what, let me try it out. And now that I have it, I'm pleased. And the reason why I'm buying this, and aside from the fact that not having that money for the more expensive, I guess not versions of options to this, is I don't think I'd wear it. If I bought that Tudor or that Manta, I don't think I'd wear it enough to justify the amount of money. The reasons why is because when I'm not wearing my Submariner or my Datejust that I just got for my birthday, it's a 16013 two-tone from the 80s. When I'm not wearing my Submariner or that Datejust, I'm either like at work or doing stuff to where I don't want to damage my Rolexes, which is pretty much at work. So I wear these other watches I have in my collection way more than I do my sub and my Rolex, my sub and my Datejust, because I don't want to damage my more expensive stuff. I'm an electrician. I work a lot with my hands. I put my hands in places, and a lot of my stuff gets scratched. So I'm not doing that to my Rolex, So if I'm spending $5,000 or $2,000 on a watch, I would have to want to wear them on the weekends when I'm going out to dinner, when I'm going to events, cocktail parties, whatever. Which 99% of the time I'm choosing my Submariner, because that's my favorite watch, and I'm obsessed with it, and I always choose that watch more than anything. So I would never choose a Tudor Black Bay to go out and do whatever, or the SkyQuest by Manta over my Submariner. So why spend that much money on those watches when I wouldn't wear them? You know what I mean? Or I wouldn't wear them to work and damage them. So that's pretty much why I dabble in homages a little bit, because of those reasons. Why not get a Seiko? Because I didn't fucking like it. I bought the Seiko, that Seiko GMT. They just came out, I think, this year or last year. And the dial sits like this much below the glass. Exaggeration, but I couldn't stand seeing it. It just, for me, it was like a big eyesore to see that dial is like this much below the crystal. So I just like, I didn't like it. I sent it back. So, again, some people don't like homages, but who gives a fuck? It's your wrist, it's your money, spend whatever you want. I have a buddy I follow on Instagram, and he also makes YouTube videos, named Roman. And he loves watches. He has Rolex, he has Breitling, he has Tudor. But what else does he have? He has a couple Invictas. And I think he got his Invicta, his Pro Diver, I don't even know what it's called. It's a Pro Diver Invicta. It's like the Submariner homage. I think that was his first watch. He said he got it 6 or 7 years ago. And he can stand by that watch and tell you that it's an amazing, phenomenal piece for $80, right? Or whatever it costs. So here's a guy that has, these luxury brand watches as well, but also can appreciate a good Invicta, you know, an homage watch, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. And I think to his, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think to his point, he doesn't mind the Pro Diver Invicta. He doesn't see it as an homage, because an homage to the Submariner, because I guess the Submariner to him isn't like, it's not near and dear to his heart. He doesn't love the Submariner, so he doesn't care that Invicta is an homage to it. On the other hand, me, if this makes sense, my Submariner is near dear to my heart. It's my favorite watch ever, and I don't care that an Invicta is homaging the Submariner. I don't care if people are homaging buying Invictas or Paganis or whatever you want to say, San Martins, that look like Submariners. I'm not a snob, and neither is he. So people shouldn't be snobby and care that you're wearing, you know, homages to these watches, because what watch doesn't get inspiration from Submariners or from Omegas? So it's pretty much every single watch out there has some kind of inspiration from these classic timepieces. So again, luxury to everybody is different. The definition of luxury to everybody is different. Some people wear Rolexes every day as beaters, scratch them up, fuck them up, because they have APs, they have Pateks that are way more expensive. So they don't, a Rolex to them is nothing. Not to me. Rolex to me is pretty much my high. That's it. You know, I'm never going to be able to afford anything else at this point in my life. You know, so my daily beaters are not, you know, $10,000 watches. They're $200, $300, $400 watches. You know, so that's pretty much it, guys. Oh, and I'll tell you one thing though. I do aspire one day to get a Rolex presidential day date. One day. Not anytime soon, obviously, but maybe for my 50th. Maybe when I retire, it'll be a gift. Something that one day I will be able to have. And since I aspire to own that watch one day, I will not buy an homage to that watch. I will not go buy anything cheap, Chinese made, that looks like it with fake gold on it, to scratch the itch until I get it, because I don't want to fuck it up for myself. I want to get that day date one day and have just the real thing, and that's what I aspire to one day. In the meantime, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and yeah, you do what you do, and hopefully you guys found this video somewhat helpful, entertaining. Again, it's your risk, it's your money, buy what you want. If you're into this watch, if you've been looking at it, again, I recommend it 120%. I'm telling you, you're not going to get disappointed. It's a beautiful looking, beautiful, well-made piece. So yeah, until then, next time, see you guys later.